Hi everyone. Today we're looking at working the Etsy system by doing a little customer stalking and review stalking, and we're going to see what customers are actually looking at and what they want so that you can do it better. And that's the whole point of this. You want to get yourself in front of more customers, but you also want to see what can you do better than the competition so that customers will come to you and not them. So the first thing I'm going to do, which is going to seem a little strange, but I'll explain it when I get over there, we're going to go to Amazon and then we're going to go over to Etsy afterwards to see how to use these two pieces of the Etsy system to get more traffic and to get more knowledge about what you can do to get customers to buy from you instead of other people. We're on Amazon and I'm just going to go ahead and search for cake decorating edible butterflies because I know this category. I used to sell these and I think it's just safe for me to do this. Some of these people have stolen my photos, so I don't have bad feelings about, stalking their reviews. So the first thing to know is that Amazon filters for customer reviews 4 stars and up. That's okay. What we're going to look at is, remember, we're trying to find things that we can do better. So what we want to do is look for customer comments about things that they did not like about the product or that they wish the product had, or features that they were not excited about, and that kind of thing. Just kind of hover over and don't click on people's ads. That's just obnoxious. I bought some of these before to see what they were like, and they're pretty stiff. They were not as good as mine, but that's okay. I'm going to click on this because they do have a lot of sales. What we want to do is click on the reviews and see what the customer said. Okay. Now there is this AI overview. We're going to ignore that. We're going to go straight to the 3-star reviews because usually when people are happy with something, they leave 5 or 4-star reviews. What we want to do is find the comments that were like, nice, but these were nice, but this. So that will tell you what customers were not happy about and what you can do better. Cute, but tastes horrible. It's like cardboard melting on your tongue. Yes, because that's what I said. These are kind of weird. They're not really wafer paper. I'm not sure what they are. Wasn't a bad item. Easy to use and stuck to the cake. They weren't ugly, but weren't as elegant as the pictures. Okay, so that's a clue. They weren't ugly by far, but weren't as elegant as the pictures. I agree with that. Not as vibrant detail. Okay, so basically what I'm saying, what I'm seeing so far is that people did not like the texture of this particular type of wafer paper. I totally understand that because I know what they mean. And the paper I used was thinner than this is like cardboard. It was like cardboard. The printing was not as good, so that's something to take a note of. Gorgeous but not tasty at all. Not very flexible. Okay, so basically, this is all quality related. A few broke in half as I was trying to shape them. All right, so maybe you need to provide a video showing people how to use them. But these are like, unless styrofoam is your get down, I would pull them off your cupcake. I agree with that because I know what these specific ones are like because I bought them. They're very weird. They're adorable. They do not bend. They'll break since they're wafers. Yeah. Okay. So basically, I'm getting what I expected to get from that because I, bought them before. I thought these were 2-dimensional, but they lay flat. Okay, now that's something that somebody who bought from me might think. So this is something to take a note of. Put this in your description that they are flat and that you have to bend them. Pretty colors, they don't have any good flavor. Can't get, wait, teal green color. That's the specific color I picked when they came out. They came in blue. So the printing. So this is the kind of thing, like printed cardboard, the color is not very bright. I 100% agree with all of this stuff. So basically what I would take away from this is that I need to provide good printing. I need to provide a better type of wafer paper, like the brand of wafer paper I use. And I need to make it clear in the description that these are not bent, just the features. You have to bend them in a certain way, maybe provide a video showing how to do that. And I have done that in the past. All of these things are things that I did in the past. So the first step of kind of creeping customer feedback is to go in and take some time and look at reviews. Try to find people who sell the same type of thing that you do. Because let's say you sell necklaces, but you're making your necklaces by hand and they're silver and they're very individual and intricate and they're one of a kind. Don't compare that to the mass market junk that's on the first page of Etsy. You need to find people that are selling the same type of thing because it's a different type of customer. So you can go and look at the mass market stuff just to get a general feel, but make sure that you're looking at people who are selling a similar type of thing that you sell because you want to see what that customer base is not happy about. And like I said, the 5 and 4 star reviews, you can ignore those or you can read them to see what people were happy about. Sometimes they'll use keywords in there that you could use. Sometimes they'll say the things that they really liked, and you can take those and make sure that you incorporate that into your business. But the 3 and 2 star reviews will give you the best clues about what people are not happy with. Like, they're happy but this, and it's the but that you can do better, and you can make sure that your customers have that covered before they come to you with those objections. You have to basically clear the objections before they have them. And when I started on Etsy, I did this, and I basically said, who am I going to crush this week? Let me go look. And I would find a competitor, read all their reviews, see what their customers were not happy with, and then I would go and adjust my business accordingly to take care of that. And the second part of that is this part that you might feel like is a little stalkery, but we're going to go in and I'm going to show you on Etsy what I used to do to get people to follow my shop. And I have done a video on favorites, which I will tag at the end of this video. But favoriting is important on Etsy for a few reasons. I went over some reasons in that video, but I'm going to show you some other reasons right now. If you're not comfortable doing this, that's fine, but I would do it. All right, so let's go over to Etsy and I'll show you exactly what I used to do. We are over on Etsy now, and I did keep this to a search for edible butterflies for cake decorating. That is what I used to sell, like I said. So I have a pretty good understanding that a lot of these people are just reselling stuff, which is okay because it's a supply. Technically, it's a craft supply, party supply, whatever you want to say. But I'm looking for a specific company, Sugar Robot. Okay, Sugar Robot is one of the first companies that really sold edible butterflies, and they've been around for a long time. So I know that they're going to have a lot of people who like their shop. I'm going to click on this to go and see. This is another thing. Etsy just doesn't want you to go to shops. They want you to browse. But I am going to go to their shop by clicking on this, find their shop homepage, and we're going to go look to see how many people they have who have favorited their shop. That's the number of admirers. So they have 20,465 admirers, which means people who have favorited their shop. I'm going to click on this because this is going to be a live link. And some people are not going to have, public favorites. That's fine. We're not going to worry about that. What I'm looking for is people who don't necessarily have a seller profile, but they have a lot of favorites and they have a decent number of followers, because that means that they're kind of active on Etsy. I would not do this for people who have 0 followers, but number one, there's no reason to follow this person because her favorites are private, and I'll explain that in a minute. But you want to look for people who have a decent number already so that it's not going to creep them out if you're the first follower, because that's just kind of creepy. And you want to do this while you're signed into your business account on Etsy so that your shop is what shows up when you do this. I will mention that. Look for people who have enough followers that it would be normal that you follow them, and a decent number of favorites to show that they're fairly active. You also want to stick to maybe the first, second, third page of whatever shop you're doing this for. Because if you go way back to the end, that's people who might not even be shopping on Etsy anymore. They favorited this shop a long time ago. So just keep it to the first few. And this is interesting because you can see what people are looking at. So let's look at Patricia. Okay, she's not a seller because she doesn't have a profile picture. So she's just a customer. Good. Okay. And we're going to look at her favorites and see what she likes. Okay, so she is apparently shopping for woodland birthday cakes. That's pretty clear. And this gives you ideas about what people are looking for too. So maybe in my keywords, and if I didn't have the word woodland birthday, that's a big one. That's a big theme. So I would add that to my keywords because she's obviously favorited some things from Sugar Robot there, and butterflies would go great with that. So let's go back over here. You can just get an idea of what they're looking for by doing what I just did. But if you want to follow them, that's better. So I would follow this. I can't follow them because I'm in a private window. But if you're signed in, you can click follow. It will let you follow this person. And then they get a notification that you followed them. They're going to say, what the heck is this? Who is this person? And they're going to go and check your profile out. And this is where we're getting the curiosity again. I talked last week about using people's natural curiosity and nosiness to get them to come to your shop or your profile. And this is the same thing. So you're going to go down and look, and you might, okay, I think I looked at the wrong person here. But yeah, you're going to find the people that have, I think it was Patricia, yeah, because the woodland stuff. But anyway, regardless, you are going to follow people who look like they're favoriting things that you sell in the same style of things that you sell. Let's say that I click through to somebody and let's look at, okay, she has I think that's okay. If I followed her, I think it would be okay. It's not going to completely freak her out. I'm not the first one following her. Let's go and look at this. She's favorited a lot. She's favorited butterflies. If I sell edible butterflies and I favorite her profile or I follow her profile, then she's going to be curious and come to my profile to see who I am. And it's going to take her to my profile where it has my shop listed. Okay, so that's one way to do this. And like I said, you might find this creepy. I don't. And the reason that I don't is because the system is there and it's there for us to use. Etsy has set up a system that they want customers to use and they want sellers to use to follow each other. It's right there, it's in front of us, it's public, it's available. Use it and you will get more attention to your shop. You just have to follow the right people so that they are willing to come and check you out. And we are using people's natural curiosity and nosiness, and it does work. All right. Now, it used to be also that you could look to see the people as we were looking at their profiles, how many followers did they have and how many favorites did they have? Because people who had a lot of followers and a lot of favorites, when they favorited something of yours, all their followers would get notifications on the front page of Etsy, sometimes, not all the time, but they would say like favorites of people that you follow or something like that. Etsy doesn't really do that anymore. So this is really not meant to get your stuff spread far and wide. I did a video about favorites and collections and how that works and how that will spread your video or your products far and wide, not your video, but it will spread your products throughout the Etsy ecosystem. And you should watch that next if you have no idea what I'm talking about. And if you're saying, why are favorites important? It just means that people are going to get a favorite discount. No, favorites are very important in the Etsy organic ecosystem. Watch that video next. Leave me any questions, and I will talk to you later.